Hello you lovely people, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. This is where I art and craft, and I'm delighted that you've come to join me this morning, because it's this morning when I'm doing this, for another, and not just another, my final offering for Crafty Christmas in July. If you want to enter the mega draw that's connected with it, this is hosted by sweetpeapapers, then go over to her Facebook channels, which you'll find linked below, and post your Christmassy, crafty Christmassy in July makes in either of her Facebook channels or both of her Facebook channels. For every post you get an entry into a draw for some fabulous prizes. There's a link below of the creators that are now listed in front of you who provided kits for our Crafty Christmas in July. And today's kit I'm going to use is from Emma Parish. Also listed below are all the collaborators, and there's some fabulous stuff out there. So flick through and find the stuff maybe you've missed, because there's now well over 100 videos of Crafty Christmas ideas. This, my final video, we're starting with, these are paper dots, and I just need to get some colour on them. So let's get some Christmassy colour with festive berries. Forest moss is the one I think I want to use for my bit of green. I'm now going to just put that over to dry and clean this down, and we'll get on with the next bit, which will give you a better idea as to what I'm actually doing. Emma's kit that I'm using today. It's lots of quite traditional images, but they're in this more, I think I'd say muted colour palette. It's not really in your faces greens and reds, and they're just slightly muted. Still rich colours, but they're slightly muted. And then I've printed these on tea dye. These are a lot brighter, and you'll see them a lot brighter in a bit. This is beautiful kind of stripes, and then we've got this with the 4 berries in the corner, and this is stars, and there is a bit of, oh, see, upside down, there's a wee bit of printing behind this one, and that's that paper, slightly darker. So you can see you've got these lovely stripes and stars, and that's the berries again, and these lovely paper and stars. And there's one there I think I didn't show you, was it? Oh no, I know what it is. It is, these berries actually have stars in them as well, but you can't really see it on this coffee dye because I've printed it. Oh, you can a wee bit on this one, just because I've printed it quite light, which I like to do when I put on the coffee tea dye paper. So that's the papers. There's a load of ephemera that I've already cut out. We've got tags and faux stamps, library cards, get some faux tickets, pockets, postcards, some what do you call them, page tabs, belly band. Here's some smaller tags, another pocket, and then you've got, there's another faux stamp and another one of those. This bigger belly band that if you were doing a, even if you're doing a big journal, that's quite a big belly band, but it would go across 2 pages as a decoration or something. And then there's this wee waterfall collection of journaling cards as well. So a lovely variety of items in this ephemera pack. It's not just kind of normal things, there's kind of different things as well. I must say it's quite nice to see page tabs in the ephemera pack. Put all those over there, and for a moment just concentrate on these two. These cards reminded me of something I did a long time ago, and I thought, oh, now I could do that with these. And that thing is these. Now, I did these quite a while ago. I think if it wasn't during that time that we all try and forget, it was shortly after that time that we all try and forget. And I'd forgotten about these until I saw this. And this was such a lovely thing to do. Every day I just filled in one of these little cards on both sides. And I ended up, the rings I put in different places with tabs on the top to tell me that was what that particular ring was. And it was just a lovely thing to do. Now, this was all about encouragement and strength and joy and all those things that we were kind of really struggling with at that period of time. But it was a lovely thing to do, and it was originally everything fitted on that one ring, but I ended up making everything so bulky, as is my usual nonsense, and so I put them on little rings as just to make it a wee bit easier. And when I saw these, it kind of reminded me, and I was thinking, these are cute, and it reminded me of those tags. So I thought, let's do something, not so much Christmas in July, here's something you can make, although this is something you can make clearly, but here's something that I would encourage you to make now for yourselves, or maybe even other people that you know will be very busy when December hits, and then give them to them at the end of November, beginning of December, so that they can just have a play with one card a day. So what I have done is I've dug out a ring. I've already cut out bits from, all these are backed with either the red stripe paper, the green stripe paper, the paper with the stars, that's the one with the stars and the writing, or the paper with the stars and the flowers and the holly and berries in the corner. And then the other side is pages, and I've just cut sections of the pages out. I thought, well, that's a nice start to the card. This is actually tags, so that's images from the tags. You see, that's the top of a page, is lovely. Did I start with one of those as well? Have I got two like that? No, I didn't. I don't know why I suddenly thought there was another one of those like that. And there's one of the library cards. There's the other library card. And you can see they're cut down a wee bit, and I've rounded the corners just because I think it's nicer to have rounded corners when you're doing something like that, because it becomes something that's quite tactile in your hand. I've also rounded the corners and put a hole through them. This is, I've done 6 of each of the backings, so this is 18, so I need another 6 from this, so I have 24, which is a kind of traditional take you to Christmas Eve. You know, it's like an Advent, instead of an Advent calendar, oh dear, can't get my words out. Instead of an Advent calendar, it's like an Advent, wee craft yourself a day. So what I've done here, oh, there's one. What I've done here is I've printed, as you see that on the back. On the front, I've printed a couple of the pages that these are half pages as opposed to a double page. You won't find a double spread like this that I think I'll be able to get images from. I want 6 images, so you see I've got that image and that and that and that automatically. And then actually that might be quite a nice image just to have at the back, and then actually maybe this will end up as 2 images, one with a parcel on the side of it and one with this. I love this kind of Christmassy pumpkin we have in this kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting it down so I can see where I'm getting to. I've now got cut off my 6 cards, which are 3 1/8 by 2 1/8. Now please remember that my original images will have been a different size from your initial images, so don't print off your images and expect to get the same image as this if you use the same pages, because it will depend on the size of your printing as well. Now the next thing we want to do is simply round the corners. That's that, and then you need to make holes in them, and I'm using my crocodile to make the holes, to make sure I have the holes in all the right place. Now I did all those ones separately, but I wonder if the crocodile is going to go through 3 as well. And I'm using the bigger hole. I set it at 1/2 inch in, and if you, I don't know if you can, how well you can see this, there's a wee plastic bit that comes out the other side, so I'm using that as the guide as to how far in. So I've got my 1/4 inch in, so if I show you this, there's one that's got the hole punched in it. I've turned it upside down so that it's facing. I put down, and it won't go any further than that because I've got the guide set at 1/2 inch, and then I line it up with that little bit of black plastic that sticks out the side, and then just squeeze, and easy peasy it will do 3 as well. Don't need to, you can make your punch your holes however you want. This is just how I'm doing it now. What I should have done, and I didn't do it with that last one, I just check I've got them all the right way up. So down to where it stops it, and then over to that, and that way they should all hopefully be in at least roughly the same place. Let's have a look. Yep, and I could just, you can buy these rings a million and one different places. If you haven't got one and you don't want them, you could instead use something like a bit of butcher's twine and just thread them on that. You don't need the ring, you could use a bit of butcher's twine. And the thing I like about the ring is I can then remove a card to work on it. Now what I am planning on doing is on the back side here, and that's what these are all about, I'm going to put a number. But before we do that, I want to do something else with this. This is now dried, but I want to do something else with it before we then put numbers on it. So what we are going to do now is we're going to stencil over these with, this is just a generic star stencil. This is glacial paste in Frostbite, and I'm not going to be too fussy. I need 24. 1 2 3 4 5 6, there's 7 wide, so 4 down, that would give me 24. So I think I'm going to, so I want to do 6, 12, 18, 24. I want to do the first top rows, first 4 rows, because take this up and I'm going to have to leave that to dry again. But I've now put these all in, well, mix them up a bit. They're in the order I think I want them in. It's just so that I didn't want all the green backs together, all the red backs together. You could do that because then you could have different weeks. I've also got here another, these bits and pieces. I've got another bit of this on this card because I'm going to make a cover for it. Just so that the front one is, I can do something, say something on the front one slightly different. So I need to cut out, I'll trim this off. This didn't go through the printer straight, as you can see. So I'm just going to straighten that line off along there. Now you could use one of the other images if you wanted, or you can, maybe an image you haven't used and you like in the kit, you can do that, but I wanted to use this and I'm going to do 2 1/4. Oops, it's not straight. Let's have it straight. Because the green images are all going to be on the back, and so I just wanted a bit of the green image on the front, and I'm just going to take a bit of that Hessian off the bottom there because I don't mind a wee bit showing, but I don't want it all showing. Or do I actually want to take that off because I've had to straighten this? I think I'm going to take it all off because I've had to straighten the side and lost it off the side, so let's take it off here as well. But I want that nice corner, so we need to do the 3 1/4. Here we go. And I could have it either down there or up there. Let's round the corners. Make sure I use the 1/4 inch. And let's put our hole in. Oh, now am I deciding, am I doing it that way or am I doing it that way? I think I'm going to do it that way, because if I do it that way I'm going to end up punching a hole in that, aren't I? So I'm going to do it that way. There we go. So this will be my cover, and the next thing I need to do is I need to ink all these, or I can ink them as I go along. Let's leave them. Let's say we're going to ink them as we go along. Now you could of course make up this kit for somebody. You could cut all these cards out, you could put them on a ring like I'm doing just now, and then you could give them stickers and things that they could decorate with. I'm going to now decorate just this front cover. This is the cover. I've left the back plain because I want to, right, in fact I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the back first, in fact, so that I can do the back how I want to do the back. And I'm going to start by, I think, maybe using one of these. Oh, should we use that wee star? Just so I've got some lines on the back. So I'm just going to totally cover up the back. And this is the other, if you don't have thick card, you could do it this way, and you could stick, if you don't have thick card, you can just print one side. If you don't like double-sided printing, print one side on, you know, 2 bits of thinner card, and then you can stick them together. You don't need to do it the way I've done it. So I'm going to stick that on there, and then on the front, these are still drying, but I've got one down here I could take, and I'm just going to put that up here. And I'm going to get out my gold pen and write December 2024. You could put Advent 2024, you could put whatever you want. You don't need to put a title on it at all, but that's, I decided I did want a title, and I'm going to do that. And now I'm going to do a bit of decorating on this. Let me have a look and see what I might use. Before I stick those things down, I want to write on this back, and I want to put my gold pen away. Let's take it back out again. Emma Parish, and it's the Christmas, it's her Christmas spice kit. And I'm going to put hashtag Crafty Christmas in July 24. And that's just to remind me of when, but you could put anything on the back of that. If you were giving it as a gift to somebody, you could use that front plate as your tag if you wanted. So I'll just give that a wee moment to dry as I put away these. Now, as I said, you could just use this butcher's twine through, but I'm going to use this as a bit of a dangle, and I'm going to put some bits and pieces on it, and then we'll finish that off. Put those over there. What shall we use? I'd quite like, because it's a Christmas spice, I don't know if I've got anything that's kind of spicy. Let's tip everything out. It's always easier if you just tip everything out, Kirsten. I've collected these over, oh, I see, I kind of like the idea of using that sparkly one. And actually that sparkly snowflake would probably go round that without the, which is quite cool. I quite like that. I still fancy putting this on here. Let's just do it like, oh, I know what I could do. Well, no, let's put it on there like that, then tie a knot like that, and then I'm going to untwist it. I have a comb that I use for crafting. It's I got this comb originally for when I was doing macrame, and I still occasionally do macrame. It's been a wee while. I still occasionally do macrame. You won't manage to totally mix the strands just because they're still in a one. And then we'll just shorten that tassel. There we go. So we've got a wee tassel. We've got a wee glittery snowflake. Let's stick the front together. So that's my title page, as it were, but it's not quite finished. I'm going to put a wee, this is the crystal. This is new, I've not had this before. I'm just going to put, oh dearie me, that was a disaster. Get that cocktail stick and just lift that back off. That all just glooped out then, didn't it? Another one. Right. Let's just scrape that back into the centre. I just wanted a bit in the centre just to give a wee bit of, just, it doesn't matter, it's all over the place, does it? Maybe I'll just spread it out further so it looks like it's glistening on the orange, making that orange look nice and juicy. Just, there we go. Make your mistakes turn into creative opportunities. Who, I wouldn't have thought of doing it as making the orange all glistening, but actually that's a much better idea than a big blob of glitter in the centre anyway. Yeah. Okay. So there was clearly a big bubble in that one before it came down. I used to always do that, and I'd always used to do it out then before, but I forgot. There we go. Let's put that on the front. This is as far as I'm going with this project for now. I've done my cover. I've made a note that it was Emma Parrish's Christmas Spice journal kit, and it was for Crafty Christmas in July on the back of my cover. I've put them on, rounded my 24 cards and put a hole in them. I've put a wee charm and made a wee Christmassy tassel for the ring. I'll end up adding other things to that. Come December the 1st, I will decorate this one. I've got my stickers that I've made. I can either just put one in, or I can use them just for decoration. I've got my other bag of other bits of ephemera from Emma's kit, but I can use bits from anywhere. This kit just makes lovely background images to then either build on, or if, for example, I might decide, well, I'm not going to use that one on the first. That would look really nice if I've got a busy day and I just put a number up there and then get out something, whether it's Nouveau paste and paste it on, paint it on, or whether it's my embossing and just emboss on there on that bow, and then So that's quite good for a quick day, but today I've got more time. Let's use this one maybe and do more things on that. You can do things on the back. You don't need to do things on the back. You can put a wee pocket on the back. You can put a wee pocket in the front, and maybe if you're at a concert or you're at the kids or the grandkids, or you know, the nephews, nieces are doing something at the school, and you come away from their school thing and you've got a program, and you know, it's quite often they're just kind of printed out on a sheet of A4 paper or something, and you don't maybe want the whole thing, but you can maybe tear a bit of that off and either stick it on or tuck it in a pocket as a remembering that they sang during that song, or during that song they waved at you because they'd suddenly seen you, or whatever. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for watching all the Crafty Christmas in July videos. Thank you for Teri for inviting me to join in this little adventure. If you've joined me during Christmas in July and didn't join my channel and subscribe beforehand, thank you so much. It's really, I've got a very small channel that I don't promote like other people promote their stuff, because that's just not me. So every single one of you is precious to me. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for those that like and comment, because actually that helps me know whether I'm just speaking in the wind. So thank you to you as well. Until next time, that won't be a Crafty Christmas in July, but until next time, you take care and keep crafting. Bye for now.